Hello everyone, welcome! So, you have reached the 5th level as your cleric and now you're able to cast 3rd level spells. And we actually got tons of 3rd level spells to experiment with. So let's have a look on all the spells. I'm going to give my opinion on some, but later I'm going to make a tier list video with all the cleric spells. Including, I think I will do all levels. I don't know if I will do separate by level or all spells, that's whatever. Let's see. You can leave a comment if you have a suggestion. Okay, now for the Animate that spell, you need to pick a corpse outside combat, and you're going to choose between either a zombie or a skeleton. Let's make a skeleton out of this. Okay, so we raise our skeleton. Pretty cool actually. 17 hit points, not a very good armor class. Okay, thank you Gale, thank you very much Gale. But it has like +2 proficiency, you know, some dexterity, so we would attack with a +4. And he is vulnerable to bludgeoning, immune to poison. So you can see this attack here, 1d6 +2, and you have your skeleton with you. Just like, pretty chill, you know, stays with you, not a concentration spell. And this should be with you until your long rest. Yeah, it's actually, I'd say that's a kind of good spell. The skeleton is the ranged combatant, and the zombie is the melee, more tough combatant. That's pretty cool, pretty cool. If you want to play the fantasy of the necromancer, now you can. Now we go with Beacon of Hope. So when you cast this spell, they will regain maximum hit points when healed. Your allies, and you have advantage on wisdom saving throws and on death saving throws. So that's a concentration spell that lasts for 10 turns. So let's cast it and see. It's a very nice casting animation, that's good. And the arrow is huge, as you can see. Every ally in this big circle will be affected. So they all have Beacon of Hope. So now, while they have this, they have advantage on wisdom saving throws, which is great. Advantage on death saving throws, which is okay. And whenever they are healed, they're going to be healed by the maximum amount. So how do we see this? Let's get my paladin. I'll cast a Cure Wounds on... I'll cast a Cure Wounds here on Gale. 11 hit points, because the maximum is 8 plus her charisma. That's 11. Cast it again. 11 hit points. Now I'm going to cast one of the second circles, so it should increase by 8, so 19 hit points. 19 hit points. So yeah, you can capitalize on this spell if you prepare yourself, and having advantage on wisdom saving throws can be great on fights you know you're going to be needing that. For the spell, and sorry if I'm butchering the English here, okay, but for the spell Bestow Curse, you're going to choose one of the curse and make a melee touch on the person. No roll required, just need to be on melee range. They're going to make a wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they will be affected by the curse. What are the curses that we can bestow on them? One that makes the victim suffering disadvantage on constitution checks and saving throws. The other one the same, but for dexterity checks and saving throws. Next one for intelligence check and saving throws. Then for wisdom check and saving throws. Then for charisma check and saving throws. Then this one for attack rolls against you, so only against the target, only against the caster who cursed the target. This one gives the advantage on strength checks and saving throws. Now it's important to say that even if you use a weapon with strength and you bestow curse to strength advantage on someone, they're not going to have disadvantage on attack rolls. That's just for strength checks, as athletics and any kind of like strength check, and for strength saving throws. If you want to give disadvantage on attack rolls, you need to use this one here. Now the last two curses, this one here, you curse the creature, and when all attack and all spells you cast on them and you deal on the target, they will take additional 1d8 necrotic damage, but only attacks and spells by the caster who cursed the target. Okay, and the last one, you touch it and they will lose its turn. Basically, they will lose its turn. That's what happens when you do that.
Another triumph. The frontiers are no longer...
Yeah. So, I cast Will, you can see it here. Each turn, they will do a wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they lose each turn. So, yeah. It's kind of like here, it failed here. So he lost his turn, can't act, and then next turn. This curse is nice because it will last 10 turns, you know. But still, you're concentrating on it. So it can end earlier if someone hits you and you fail the concentration. And every time he's doing something, he's going to do a wisdom saving throw. So it's basically, I don't know, you kind of, to make the attacker really lose his turn, he needs to fail the first saving throw against her spell, and then on his next turn he needs to fail again the saving throw. So it's kind of the spell is a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. I don't think Bestow Curse is the best spell on the 3rd level, and that's being nice to it. And it's important to note for the Bestow Curse, any curse you choose will last 10 turns or until you lose the concentration. Alright? I don't think any of these curses are worth it, but well, maybe you're doing very specific builds or additional damage might be nice. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you also have like spells like Scorching Rays, so every Scorching Ray dart will do more damage. I don't know. Maybe there is something out there. For this spell, Daylight, we have 2 modes. The first one, we summon a Spirit of Light. It will illuminate a lot and dispel darkness. So it's actually even bright for the eyes. So this is not concentration, it will stay there for 100 turns. Pretty cool. But you shouldn't use this only to illuminate an area. You should use sunlight to, if you want to dispel the darkness, okay? Not sunlight, daylight, if you want to dispel the darkness. And it might give this event some creatures that have these events on sunlight. I need to check that, because there are not a lot of creatures that do have these on, right now on this mode. Okay, and now for the second mode of the spell, you can use the same thing, also the same strength, but you enchant an item. So let's enchant maybe her hammer. I don't know which item was enchanted, but now the sunlight walks with her. As soon as I step here, I'm going to take some shots from the tower, but that's alright. Just want to show the sunlight, looking how it radiates through the Underdark. I would say it makes walking around here much more pleasant, because that is a dark place usually, very, very dark and green place. Ooh, the Falar Loof. Now let's see the Fear spell. So Fear is a cone. When you cast at someone, if they fail the wisdom throw, they're going to become fearful. Very nice cast. Fearful means that they will lose their action, and not only that, they need to use their action to flee from you, even taking attacks of opportunity. So let's see if Kaga can fail it. So she failed the saving throw, she dropped her weapon, she's like fearful. Let's go and examine her. So fearful condition. For 3 turns now, she can't make any other save for 3 turns. So this event's gonna be checks and attack rolls, but she won't do it because she must run from the Sorcerer's Sphere and can't take any additional action, so she'll just be fleeing now. So Shadowheart did that. I'm going to put Will here so he can benefit from her trying to flee from Shadowheart. And let's put Gale here also. Everyone. Now will be Khadga's turn. So she's running and taking opportunity attacks while doing that. And the spell is not broken, she keeps running. And now it's me again. So, yeah, I'm concentrating on Fear, okay, it will last for 2 more turns. But this spell is great. This is a huge, strong spell. It also, even if it affects only 1 target, it will be good already. But being a cone, able to affect multiple targets, and it doesn't affect your allies, only enemies, that's one of the best 3rd level spells for clerics, for sure. Next on the list, let's see how Feign Death fares. So When you cast on an ally, it will protect it and will become resistant to all damage, so take half damage, except psychic damage. And disease and poison no longer have effect, so they're immune to disease and poison. So my paladin is there, fighting Khadga. So I'm going to go and Feign Death her. Very important that she goes into a coma of some sort, as you can see. So my paladin can't act because she's feigning death. Okay, so Khadga now. Khadga is doing spells. I'm going to counter it, so just so. Now she'll probably hit my paladin, I think. Okay, she actually ignored my paladin, so Feign Death can at least make so they won't target whoever is getting a beat. But I have to say something, this spell is horrible. Don't use it. It's better to do any other stuff than to remove one of your party members from combat or making it like it takes only half damage but it can't act. Now for a Glyph of Warding, when you choose a spell, you need to choose between its 7 modes. Most are elemental damage, but right now let's cover the sleep mode. Basically, it's a circle. Make sure when you cast that nothing is inside your circle. Not even you, an ally, an object, or an enemy. And when the enemy enters the central area of the circle, it will make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, it will sleep. Now, let's see. So it failed the wisdom saving throw, now it's sleeping. And that's very important because sleeping means that it can have it can take critical hits. So the paladin here, for example, if we wanted to, we could just walk into it and critical hit the Divine Smite level 2. So that's a tons of damage. But just so you can realize, it won't sleep for a long time, right? So see, just 1 turn of sleeping. But that should be enough to do that great sneak attack critical hit or Divine Smite critical hit. I think from all the modes of this spell, this one is the best. So I'm going to cast the Glyph of Warding now on Detonation Pattern. Do not include anyone inside your circle because the spell is damn erratic, okay? So should be alright, should, we never know. Okay, walk here, jump here. Walk more. Let's see. See? She crossed the circle and exploded on her. She made a saving throw and fell. But it didn't really stop her movement and anything. Just like she lost some movement. So it's a pretty bad mode. If it increased the pushing, distance by 2 times or 3 times, then maybe you could start to see some use for it. Alright guys, now for the 3rd mode of the spell. The one that does a damage explosion. Let's use the cold one. So I don't really like this spell, I'll tell you why. Because it's very particular. If you cast it while like something is inside it, it won't explode. Even if like this chest has barrels, it won't explode when an NPC goes in. So it's very hard to make it work. So now I cast a spell, now I'm going to try and use Gale to push them both at the same time. Okay, pushed one guy, the Glyph exploded on him. I did my 5d8 cold damage. He failed the saving throw. So it's kind of pretty lame. If you think about it, it's a hold spell, so you can use, and you can't aim at someone, you need to aim at the trajectory of someone, or maybe push someone there, to push people around, or to give it 5d8 cold damage. Yes, 5d8 cold damage is good, but 1 person, not good for 3rd level spells, no. And didn't even leave like a ice place, so won't even leave a surface unless, I'm guessing, unless it can freeze water or it can burn something. But I don't really like. The best mode is a sleep one that you can use on the trajectory of something big, and the big creature will come and maybe sleep. So that's the best mode of it. But still, I don't love this spell. So that's the Glyph of Warding. Okay, for the Mass Healing Ward spell, whenever I use this, every party member that's within, that's big, 18 meters of like radius, I think, should be healed by, well, like a healing ward. I'm using it. Poor Gale is actually inside the lava. Yeah, we healed him, but I don't think he can do anything about it. He'll probably just kind of like fall again on his turn. Nothing we can do about it. But yeah, we healed the party. That was nice. It's a very good and useful spell. A bonus action only. So I still have my action to do whatever I want. Next we have Protection from Energy. So you choose a creature and you gain resistance against acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder or acid. You choose when you cast it. And well, it's a little bit underwhelming also, unless you really know you're going to face tons of creatures of the element damage. Because it is a concentration spell, my friend. So, you know, it can end if you're hit and fail the Constitution saving throw. So not the best spell in the world. But hey, it's something, right? And at least it lasts until long rest. So if you can keep the one who casts it safe, you should be able to capitalize from the protection that you've chosen to. Now, remove curse. Basically, you touch a creature and you remove all curses affecting it. There are not a lot of curses in the game, as far as I know. One way to get a curse if someone casts Bestow Curse on you, so the 3rd level spell. So removed curse would remove Bestow Curse. Yeah, that's very specific, but you know what? It's good that you can just change spells at any time on your spell book. So you get a curse and you're outside combat. You put spell, you memorize remove curse and remove the curse. That's what I recommend. Do not walk around with remove curse like on a slot because it's not necessary. As a 5th level cleric, we are also able to cast Revivify. That's exactly the same spell as the Scroll of Revivify. So you can't cast and when you're under is not your party members, but you can cast on your party members. So if I was to maul Will to the death here, which I am, very brutal, but that's necessary. So Will had an accident and died. Now we can go ahead and Revivify Will. So I'm spending a spell slot, but I'm saving a scroll. So yeah, that's good for everyone except for Will. Now another spell as a 3rd level cleric that we get is Speak of the Dead. Now we all know Speak of the Dead because there's an item that does that already, right? But you also can get that as a cleric.
Corpse regards you lifelessly.
Is that one of the coolest spells in the game? Then you can ask questions, then you reply, and etc. It's just exactly the same as with the item, the amulets you get with Withers here, the amulets of the Lost Voices. Spirit Guardians might just be the best cleric spell on the 3rd level. So you're going to cast it. We're going to choose Radiant damage because I think... Actually, you know what? Let's go and choose necrotic damage. It's more than part of Char, although usually necrotic is worse than radiant. Now these spirits are all flying like around me. I'm going to just jump these guys. So whenever I enter someone's area, they make a wisdom saving throw or take damage. And even if they pass, they take half damage. Also, I'm going to take an opportunity attack here on purpose. Okay, because I want to show you something. Shouldn't affect my allies. So it didn't affect this guy. That one's an enemy, I think. Now this one enemy also took the damage. So if I had 100 creatures here, every creature would make the saving throw. That's slightly different than on D&D, right? On D&D it doesn't work like that. You can't walk on people with your area. People need to walk on your area is different, but that's how it works on Baldur's Gate, so that is it. And you can't do multiple times on the same enemy, that won't help. It also lasts for concentration up to 1 minute, so if they hit me, I make saving throw to keep my spell, and if I can keep it, it can last for 1 minute, so it'll be 10 rounds of doing damage, so much damage on so much people. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you can. And stay tuned, because next will be Druid's 3rd level spells.